Hello and welcome to the Being VR. This 360-degree experience features dynamic fractal visuals overlaid with music tuned to 432 Hz. Relax and take in the atmosphere as you are guided through a trip through your mind and into your heart. Allow yourself to get lifted with this naturally elevating, multi-sensory VR experience. Before we begin, please take a few breaths into your body. Prepare to go on a little journey by relaxing the mind. Your field of view is at full 360 degrees, so feel free to look beneath and behind you as well. Thank you for traveling with visual reality.
When the mind becomes inoperable, that is the moment when heart starts functioning. You are in a good space. If the mind is saying, I don't know, the mind is closing the shop. And here the mind closes the shop. Immediately, the doors of your heart start opening. There are two sides of the same coin. Then there is no question of knowing or not knowing. For the first time you feel and feeling is the way of experience. When you are in your head, you are millions of miles away. When you are in your heart, you are in my heart too. Because hearts don't know separation. There is still much more than the heart in you, but no thinking, no feeling, but only a sense of existence. So don't be worried. The journey has begun.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Films That Inspire. I am your co-host, Russ Samuel Waldowski, and this is the amazing
Crystal Indigo Light. Namaste. I am your spiritual guru. We have had 300 entries from all over the world, and we have picked the best 13 films for you this evening.
And we hope these films touch your heart, inspire you in any way, or be inspired by them.
They've been channeled and downloaded from all over the universe. Australia, America, Middle East, France, Italy, Salvador, even Russia.
Wow, all across the world. But before we begin, let us tell you what world we are in. We are currently in the land of the Bengali people of the Kulin Nation. So I want to pay my respect to their elders, past, present, and emerging. Always was, always will be indigenous land. No sovereignty has ever been ceded. No treaty has ever been signed. That means we are living in stolen land. So I also would like to acknowledge the intergenerational power, wisdom, and storytelling that we all share and that we hope to share with you all.
And even though Mercury is retrograde and it is a blood moon, we have people from all over the universe tuning in on their sacred devices.
So get ready, get excited,
They need to subscribe and they need to go to the Facebook page, Films That Inspire, to vote for their very favorite film. And we need to do the breathing, the chakras.
I don't do none of that stuff. So.
And we're all going to align our chakras.
Sean, I didn't sign up for this. Can we just roll the film? Thank you.
This town, my home, is so small. There is one cinema, one bakery, one police station. Everyone knows everyone. There are no secrets. Nothing ever changes. And no one wants it to change.
She's just kind of telling me that I should keep going.
The empty sky. The aimless routine. The winding roads. The old friends. The family. But that's what I'll miss. I'll miss the familiar streets. The never-changing nature of this place. The long-lasting friendships. The silent nights. The open roads. But it's time to go. I've got to leave. I need to grow. So I'm driving into the unknown. And one day I'll return with more than one home.
The mental preparation is something that comes with practice, with training, and with experience. I have a disability in my left arm, so my left arm is fully paralyzed. This happened because of a motorbike accident about 19 years ago. I came here in the summer of 2015, shortly before Ramadan, so it was an all new experience with the heat and with the landscape and with the people and the culture. Everything was so completely different to what I've been used to or where I've lived to. So.
Kathy, let's start with this one. Let's get the stuff here and then we start. Yes.
So, what I love about climbing is you're in nature. Another thing for me about climbing is that it's a challenge. Climbing is always a challenge. If you climb, you get more and more used to the feeling of falling, and you realize, if I fall, so what? It takes a while to get there, actually, definitely. Sometimes when people see me, they maybe not tell me the first time when they see me, but after the hike sometimes they come to me and say, at first when I saw you, I didn't actually think that you can be our hiking guide because you have a disability. How can you be our hiking guide? But then my answer always is, do you hike on feet or do you hike on arms? So for hiking you need good feet, right? So that's good. I'm fine with that. Yes, might have been too difficult and then you finish it. That's an amazing feeling, you know? When you get up there and you can say, yes, I did it. That's amazing. And if you can overcome our own limits, that's the most amazing thing, isn't it? Whenever you're out and you can watch a sunrise or a sunset, that's one of the most beautiful things that nature can give us. And every day we have the chance to watch a sunrise and a sunset, and it's up to us if we are going to do it. If you're out in the nature, it's even better. It's just pure and it's simple, but it's beautiful. My name is Martin. I'm a sales manager here in the UAE. This is the other side of my life.
סע, אל תוותר. כל הכבוד. עברת 500 מטר. אל תוותר. אל תוותר. כל הכבוד.
אחי, תעזור לי איזה רגע קטן. תגיד, ראית פה איזה בחורה, רוסייה, שלגון, עיניים, חומות דבש, כוסית יעני?
לא...
חכה. אני אראה לך תמונה.
לא נראה לי, אחי.
מבין מה זה בחורות? אם אתה לא רודף אחריהם, הן מרגישות כאילו לא עשית שום דבר.
בכל מקרה, אני מצטער, אחי. לא...
מה?
פשוט מקודם עבר פה איזה מישהו, חיפש אותך, נראה לי, חבר שלך?
לאט. סוג.
אל תלחצי, בסדר? אל תלחצי, הוא מאחורינו פשוט. בואי נלך למקום קצת יותר שקט.
תודה.
טוב. תחכי פה, אני אלך להגיד לשוטר מה קרה, בסדר?
חייבים להמשיך לרוץ. זה לא יעזור. הם כולם חברים שלו. רוץ! אתה חייב להמשיך לרוץ!
חכה.
אל תתקרב!
אחי, הכל קול.
הגעת ליד. כל הכבוד!
רואה שאתה יכול.
אל תשכח לדרג אותנו.
דיר באלק, אתה נותן לנו דירוג גרוע. סתם.
Well, I wake up about 6 o'clock every morning and then I just ride a stationary bike for some kilometres. And then you walk down to that cold water and you're sort of thinking, why am I doing this? I'm Pauline Unsworth. I'm one of the forming members of the Buckettes that started about 13 years ago on Mona Vale Beach. It was just the three of us and we were very happy with just three, but then gradually a few other people came and now it's 25 women. 25 women, no men. There's something about the group that people, I think, are comfortable being themselves. You don't have to expose your personal light if you don't want to, but it's just the way they are. And I think there's a freedom there too, a freedom just to be yourself. If you're in the nude, you can't really be pretentious. Some of the Buckettes have never been in a group like this, so they're not sure what you do or how you behave. Well, there's been a lot of growth. You see people that have been shy, probably not comfortable with big groups, then gradually get used to it all and their life changes for the better.
I was always afraid of the water, to be honest, and water for me was scary. So I didn't really overcome that until I decided at 60 that I want to learn how to swim because I've been missing out all my life. Okay, all right. Okay, right. Hi, I'm sorry, I wasn't supposed to do that. I'm Minna and I'm part of the Buckettes and I've been swimming with them for the last 3 years and it's a very big part of my life.
Well, Minna's amazing and she learned to swim on YouTube and then she joined us. She was a bit shy about it. She learned to ride a bike, so now she rides a bike down. So you see someone like Minna just keep on growing.
Some people would describe me as stubborn. I think I'm just determined. If I decide I'm going to do something, I do everything I can to do it, to complete it, because otherwise I don't want to have to deal with the disappointment. So I watched video after video on YouTube, what to do with breathing, got myself some goggles and practiced in a pool down here. And so I basically learned on the internet. For a long time I thought they were crazy. What drew me to them, I could hear them laughing. They're having so much fun, I'd love to be part of that. And just took the chance one day to say, could I come out there with you? That day was just the start of a couple of years of absolute adventure. Every day is an adventure.
It's so crowded down there, sometimes there might be 18 people in that shed and it's cheek to cheek.
Bum cheeks?
Bum cheeks. We're going after our swim in the winter, it's very cold. You'd rather avoid a cold shower. So we started taking a couple of litres of hot water down. So you'd stand in the bucket, pour the hot water over yourself a bit, and then your feet might defrost just a little bit because you're standing in the warm water. So that's how we got the name of the Buckettes.
You wouldn't do it on your own.
When you first go into the water, my feeling always is, it's not pleasant. I think the most powerful thing in the group is the togetherness. There's always 1 or 2, 3 people just watching you and come and get you and take your hand as you're getting out the water. A hand of friendship, a hand of support. We had some very hard times. I can't talk about that without crying. Anthony died in 1977. I think for me, I wanted to share it with everyone. I wanted to show his photo at bus stops. Anyone that would give me an ear or their eyes, I wanted to talk about it. I think with something like that, you need healing every day. I don't talk to them too much about it, but they know the days that are special. And you might get a little flower in your bag. 2 other friends have lost children. The children have died. So you might have a little specialness between you that maybe is just a touch. So that's a specialness of the heart.
Pauline always remembers the fine, minute details about you. She makes you feel really important.
So I don't think it matters where you come from or where you've grown up or how much money you earn. There's still women that you would meet and not know their circumstances. You'd never know.
I'm Italian background. My name is Giacomina Maria Grazie. As a 3-year-old, when I was taken to preschool, the director of the preschool said, well, we don't have that name in Australia. What's the middle name? And the middle name is Maria. Well, Maria in Australia is Mary, and I've been called Mary all my life. My name had been taken away from me. I told the Buckettes the story, and Pauline, she said, well, we've given you your name back. They've taken it away from you unceremoniously. We'll give it back to you. And that's how the name Minna came about. There is something that happens when you're able to get out in the water and your troubles disappear for a little while. My favourite thing to do is just get out into it and then just spin around and look at it and just think, wow, wow.
If you believe in yourself, I think you have peace within yourself. They light your spark for the rest of the day. And if you don't do that, your day's pretty ordinary.
It's just an unbelievable place to be in. You feel just so alive out there. Like a little cork in the middle of the ocean.
How many times do I have to tell you I'm not your servant?
I can't. Oh.
Oh, hello.
Oh,
Yes.
it was improvisation.
Improvisation, vocal warm-up,
Sacred relationship
building.
building.
Yes, that's exactly what we
How
were
amazing
doing.
was that last film?
Yes, just always reminds me that no matter how old you are, you could always find something fun to do before you... Crystal, how many times do I have to tell you stop doing that? This is complete culture inappropriation, so please just... My aura is fine, okay? So please, social distancing and
Social distancing or clearing.
I don't need no aura clearing, so please stay out of my hair. Thank you. Sean, roll the next film.
The next film.
I'm not getting paid enough for this.
We never do it for the money.
You always do it for the money.
What's people's reaction when they first meet Matt? I think they look at him with sympathy and overcompensate for it.
Sort of a suppressed fear. They don't understand, or a majority don't understand what it is that's making him the way he is.
I think they should approach him like they would anyone else they meet for the first time or one of their friends.
How do you want people to treat you?
When me and Matt were friends, at first I really felt sorry for him because there he was stuck in this wheelchair, unable to move his hands properly, unable to walk, unable to do so many things, especially express himself, unable to talk to people.
The worst things about Matt's condition are just not being able to articulate what you want to do, how you feel.
I think the worst part about it is just that he can't communicate with, the way he wants to and can't express himself. Also, he can't get up and walk and go to the toilet and, do things that normal people do.
Does the frustration ever feel like it's just too much? Did you just say you kind of like it? You learn new things. So what you're saying is you like the challenge. But as you spend more time with Matt, you begin to discover that he's not upset at all about his situation. He embraces every single challenge that comes to him.
I think Matt is very intelligent.
Matthew's an internet programmer and he works from home on his computer. He does everything with his nose on his keyboard and he uses his jaw to move his mouse. And he's communicating with people all over the world.
Every day Matt inspires me. He can do so much.
He lives at home by himself. He's a computer programmer. He has his own business on the internet. He's able to go shopping when he wants to go shopping. He gets in his wheelchair himself and goes to the gym. He can swim, he can bungee jump, he can do so many things despite all these obstacles that he's faced with every single day. Because he doesn't focus on what he can't do, he focuses on what he can do.
Matthew is very outgoing, very energetic, positive, happy.
He's like a battery charger for people.
What makes you happy?
It's interesting to see how many people Matt affects when you take him out. I think people are just inspired by him because he's just got such a huge smile and such a joyful presence.
He is a bit of an example for a lot of people of someone who is so positive in the face of such turmoil.
Well, Matt's taught me a lot about life. I'd say probably the most thing that he's taught me is that, it doesn't matter how hard things get, there's always a way out. There's always a way to do things, and it's always about your frame of mind.
What Matt has taught me about life is that there's no such thing as limitation or impossible. It's all about your attitude, and with the right attitude, if you believe in yourself, you can do anything.
He shows everyone in the world, everyone that comes into contact with him, that you can be happy despite your situation.
He's living life, and I think the rest of us should have a good look and try and live our lives.
If you had to send one message out and it was going to go across to the whole world, the whole world, what would that message be?
Talent.
сюди! Пластик туди! Органічні туди.
Собирая мусор по категориям, вы улучшаете экологию нашего города.
Hi, my name is Erwin Darmali, and I am the director of The Simplicity of Happiness. There are some stories in your life that when you heard it, you just can't help but think about how it changed your life. So this is one of them. I hope you enjoy it.
One night in Los Angeles, while drinking and having fun, he took out his hand. Hey, dude, let's race to the first $1 million. Race for $1 million. That's an aggressive race. But you know what? Just because I didn't like the guy, I really took on the race, seriously. 5 years after we had the handshake. I think I was 28. I'm like, man, now I have more than $1 million in my bank. I think I want to call that guy. And then actually he came. I picked him up with the Range Rover, nice. I was asking him, so what are you doing now, man? You get that $1 million yet? He said, no. And then it made me feel good. Oh, this is what it feels like. Defeating, people that you hate. So I just kept on going. I had houses, I had properties, I had a few apartments. Oh, I counted, I had like 15 cars or something, 6, 7 Harleys at the time, and then just toys in my garage, and then I could buy anything I want, and then I had everything that everybody else wanted. Man, I feel like I'm on top of my world. But how come there is such a big fear? How do I not become afraid? And because the fear is just not pleasant. Is this really going to last forever? And then I had accumulated much to the point where all I thought was just myself.
I remember one person had to die because of my greed. The whole family suffered. Oh God. An old man owed me money, Then he gave me a check. Check is good for next week. Following week, I took it to the bank and it bounced. I go, okay, promise you, next week. Promise, okay. To see him the next week, still didn't have money. So he lied to me 3 times. And then there was ego talking, it was not about money anymore, Couldn't care less about money. But, just don't do that to me. Brought my bouncer with me, my hitman. I destroyed his office. And then smashing things. The guy was so scared, he was smoking, he lit up a cigarette. He was so old, fragile, old and gray and bent and shaking. There I was, I was still young, tough. And I was so happy, just his office was destroyed, tables split in two and chairs, you know. I went home. Next day I found out he died, heart attack. All for $5,000. What have I become? It should have been me. I just made a promise that the rest of my life I just choose to do good things for other people. That's it. Indonesia is already it's a developing country, and then my village where I live is probably one of the underdeveloped villages. I'm not saying you have to sell your houses, your cars and everything. Well, that's what I did, but I'm not imposing the values to other people. That's what I needed to do. What I'm saying is maybe there's somebody that needs to build whatever, you know, the houses or irrigation system or something or anything. There's a need, you know, in their village. You go out, you be the answer to the need. I think the true happiness is when you start to empty yourself a little bit more and more, you know, and more the next day. Giving is actually the key to happiness. We bring different values to young people that maybe that are really becoming addicted with selfishness. You go ask young people, say, what do you want to do in life, man? You know, I want to be a doctor, I want to be a lawyer. Why? To make a lot of money. I say, I tell my children, you know, if there's time, there's money, you become doctors. When you graduate, you become anything. You go out to the villages, go help serve people who cannot repay you at all. And it gives me such satisfaction. Now we have a clinic down there, you know, with the whole village, you know, we fix their teeth, we clean them up, and, you know, and then they come back home like, oh, I've been suffering for years, I have no money to go to doctors and everything. Now, thank God, you know, I have you, you know, they're happy because of your presence, because of your service that you do.
Punya keberanian, ya, untuk mempunyai kerendahan hati, mau belajar, menyatakan bahwa oke, saya orang muda, saya perlu belajar karena I'm not that smart, ya, karena kita banyak perlu, we have to learn many things. Ini perlu kerendahan hati.
Kenapa? Karena gini, kamu tuh jadi manusia tuh harus punya sesuatu yang kamu mau. Ngerti nggak? Achievement. Kamu mau apa?
Yes, we teach the young people to be successful in everything, but before they become successful financially, I think it's good for them to have a good foundations of morale, which is actually not about self. It's about giving to other people, empowering, being beneficial to other people. Your presence need to benefit other people. That's how you're going to create the balanced society. It's actually contagious. When you go inspire somebody else, they become inspired, they want to do something else. Why is it really important? Well, because there's so much suffering in this world.
because everybody serves themselves. Selflessness is really the key. The fear, it's not there anymore. Yeah, there's really nothing to be afraid of. 10 years ago and beyond, happiness can only be defined by the feeling of having something that nobody else has. That was my happiness. Winning the race in life. It's completely opposite. It's towards fulfilling somebody else's dream.
Apa itu di dalam? Makanan ya? The togetherness and doing something different, for other people really is what's going to unite your family even more. Live a simpler life.
Wow, welcome ladies and gents. We are almost halfway, so stick there. Wow, that film was just
It just really, really connected me to all parts of who I am. Samuel, let's just take a real moment to really breathe in the magic of that film and connect.
I'm not good at that sort of stuff.
I would really love for you to look at me.
I'm not good at looking people in the eyes. I can't do it. It's
Look at me. That's it. Look at me. Breathe into my left eye. That's it. Let the emotion be seen. That film was so touching. Allow yourself to really feel your emotions. That's right. We're going through a really challenging time at the moment, and that's why we have Onus Community, a platform that's bringing people together to really support grassroots projects that are supporting community and the environment at large.
This is something brand new and it has the power to change the world, but that guy gave all his money away. Like, how does somebody do that? Just give all their money away. Like, give all that money to me.
Okay, we're going to move on to Onus now.
Citizen of Earth, welcome to Onus Community. We're the change you have been waiting for. An engine of global transformation that is building a better world for the next generation. This revolutionary social network is like no other. We're creating a rocket for a powerful change. Your likes and loves are no longer about popularity. Here your likes are money, and we call them money likes. We're 100% non-for-profit that raises funds for the most essential global projects, supporting grassroots leaders like yourself to save the environment, fight for our freedoms, and transform the world. By joining our global economy, you become empowered, because unlike other social networks, Onus has no corporate owner. As a member, you are the owner. Become an owner starts from just $3 a month. This contribution is converted into your own powerful money likes. And when you invite 3 people who join the community, you can access the innovative money like market and start growing your own grassroots economy. Make friends, collaborate in new projects, send money to the projects and leaders who inspire and touch your heart. In Onus Community, we collectively empower each other to build a better world. If you're ready and know the world needs to change, then the time to unite with us is now. If you're going to choose one community, make it Onus, because with Onus, the power is in your hands. United, we will transform the world.
Onus is such a divine community, and if you want to support them and create powerful change, you can head to their website, onuscommunity.org.
Don't go anywhere, because up next we have a special speaker, author, life coach, and he's the creator of Inspired Evolution. Also from Mind Valley, Australia. Amrit Sandhu, ladies and gents.
Amrit Sandhu?
That's right, the one and only.
I was married to him in a past life.
Sure you were.
It is such a pleasure to be here. Films that inspire. How many incredibly inspiring people there are on the planet. Guys, I just want to take a quick moment. It's an absolute honor to be here to drop in with you around the word inspiration. For you guys, as you know, as I was introduced, my whole thing is called the Inspired Evolution. I'm inspired to evolve every day. But when I stop to think about what inspiration means to me, it's definitely not motivation. Often we confuse what motivation means to us versus what inspiration means to us. I believe that motivation is that thing that definitely it'll get you to the gym. It'll get you through that next piece of work you have to do. It'll get you through that tough conversation that you need to have. But it's almost like pumping up the tires, and the tires don't really last. The inflation doesn't really last. That motivation gives you that little gas, that little pumping up doesn't really last. We find in the world that people motivate us based on increased paychecks, rewards and gifts. But how motivating, how much does that motivation really move you inside? It's something that I have actually, if I'm honest with you, stopped believing in. I believe inspiration is completely different. I believe inspiration is actually from the inside out. Motivation is from the outside in. People give you things, trinkets, objects, rewards to try and get you to do the things that they need you to do. But when it comes to inspiration, you see something out there that inspires you and you take a breath. It causes you to inhale. Inspiration, the word means to inspire, to literally breathe. These things give you breath. They give you... You draw in life, you draw in experience, you draw in all the goodness that life is affording you just in that moment that inspiration strikes you. It inspires you and you go, and from here, so many amazing things are possible. Taking a look at all these incredible stories, some of these documentaries, some of the things that these people have done. They've even talked about some of the goals that they set were motivating goals, and they found that they were out of alignment for them down the track. But when you align yourself to your inspirations, to the things that spark you, the things that bring in life into your system, and you take a moment to really calibrate and come home to that and go, what is it that I'm going to create from a place of inspiration? You're really, truly empowered. There is so much goodness in your inspiration. There is so much goodness when we're connected to our breath and the things that help us breathe, things that help us through life, the things that actually encourage us to live life full on, grab the bull by the horns, ride it home. What are these things for you? If you're finding yourself consistently leaning on motivation, perhaps it's time to take a look at what it is in your life that you're really showing up with. What is it that you're doing that requires so much motivation? I often find motivation is part of the recipe for drudgery, whereas inspiration, living a life that inspires you, following your inspirations, is a path that is lighter, it's elevated, it inspires you to be an incredible human being. We're looking back at these people that have put these films together, the themes that are coming through it, living a life of service, living a life of compassion, helping others, being more interconnected, following our intuition. All these things stem from a place of inspiration. So as a quick little takeaway, something I encourage us to feel into, next time you take that moment and you realize, you go, that's something that it might be you see an old American car and it really speaks to you and you love restoring cars. It might be you pick up a really nice fiction novel and you just love reading. It could be that you pick up the guitar and music is your whole life. It might be the paintbrush. It might be setting up other people's businesses for them. You might be into anything, but society has told you to do one particular thing and you are consistently trying to motivate yourself. Instead, those things that spark joy in you, those things that help you inspire, those things that cause you to pause. Take note of those things. Those things are special. Follow your inspiration. Follow the things that energize you. Stay inspired to evolve.
You!
Oh!
I just feel so inspired. Oh, I'm just really feeling it in my base chakra.
Yeah, that kind of woke me up.
That's right.
My base
Through
chakra.
the heart, that's right, into the third eye and out into the universe. Ah, ah,
Ha.
ah.
Ha.
That's right. So, what's next?
Well, up next is the music video. Oh, okay, that must be at halftime break, ladies and gents. You go get your snacks and get your energy up, because right now we have some energy in the room.
And make sure that you pee quickly because we've got another film coming right after this.
Pee quickly. I just pee quickly. Yeah. What did you put in your tea?
Cacao.
I close my eyes, things I wanted to say, dreams, imagery, I'm walking away, wanting to run, it's time to be. Face the fire, I set myself free. I bow to you, I bow to you, I bow to you, I bow to you. I'm walking through that door, through that door, reaching out to you, through that door, I'm reaching out to you. Fear and noise, jackal at the door, face the wolf, stand
Jess. Jess.
What did you do?
I'm not exactly sure.
He's one of Australia's unique geniuses that people don't really know anything about.
I don't think he even realises what he's actually created and what he's actually started.
This guy fell in the cement works where he worked,
Jim, you all right?
and the guy said later that when Tom put his hand on him, somehow his body relaxed and he was out of pain.
Tom, how'd you do that?
He started working this out and doing it on people, and it was working.
I don't know anybody that was creating the sorts of results that he was, and en masse.
I knew that I would be incapacitated to some great extent.
I couldn't understand how the aura about this girl just affected me, as I had never seen anything like it in my life.
You're the most beautiful girl I've ever seen.
Christmas Day would come and Grandpa would leave halfway or before lunch was put on the table because someone rang and needed him.
The more we learn about fascia, the more amazing it is.
It's the matrix of everything within the body.
It's the most important structure in our body.
So I think what the Bowen move does engages the fascia and somehow sends a ripple through the fascia.
He said it was the place where the spirit of who we were met who we were physically.
So I kind of think of him as being a master body mechanic or a master body electrician.
I'll help you get better.
No, you can't.
I think one of the most amazing things about this whole story was the way that Ozzy found Tom Bowen.
That's Tom Bowen.
Who's Tom Bowen?
Pleasure to meet you, son.
They told me that I would never walk again. And then I found Mr. Bowen.
I don't know what that man did, but I have no pain.
Really?
Really.
Having his leg amputated would have been such a massive shock to him, you know, it was a shock to everybody.
This form came at the end of my bed, this white glowing form, and it spoke to me and it said, Tom, your work is not yet done.
My patients need me. So, we better get to work.
I promise you, I'm going to make your work known around the world.
A therapy that has 80% success is a pretty powerful treatment.
It's actually revolutionised how we practice, how we see the body, and how we treat people.
Bodywork's a craft. There's a beauty to it.
Bowen therapy creates a window of opportunity for people to change consciousness.
The potential is unlimited. We still have only scratched the surface of this work that Tom Bowen created. That's what's so exciting.
Sometimes changes can be en masse. You get a group of people and they say, this is what we want, this is what we need. Or you have one man, like Einstein, like Tom Bowen, and they change the world.
What does it mean to really encompass my whole array of emotions? And what is it to have them? And how do we properly communicate our thoughts and feelings freely with one another? I'm not talking small scale. I'm talking the world. How do we work better together rather than as separate entities? A majority of us have the same goals. Love a good life, have good friends. Love a good life. That's it. That is the premise. That word love, it's so powerful. Love is what can drive you crazy. Love is such a bond that may or may not be one-sided. Respect. It's how it's given, and then it's up to those with the respect to attain and hold those standards and surroundings. Whatever simulation you get into, you have to get into. Or else you spend your life kick-assing or hack-assing and won't feel like you fit in anywhere. We have to build our tribes to be exclusively inclusive, or else we aren't gonna make it very far. Yes, we should have teams. Yes, we should have groups. But the respect should be voiceless. It has to be there for us, to come to grasp that us as human beings are able to collaborate, and it opens your world as many times as you want to fold it. Think highly of yourself and yourself's ability to do really good. Twofold. Love a good life. Wait. That was a serious thought.
I've been called crazy on a number of occasions, mainly by some of the younger kids who see you around living in the van, and the way my life has ended up, I haven't had a house. I got married when I was about 20, had a child, and I ended up divorced at 26 and went travelling in Indo for a few years. And then eventually the money ran out, nothing turned up, and I didn't have any money to rent anywhere, so I thought, well, that's it, I'm living in the car park. I love it as much as I ever have, and I probably love it more and more every day. The work I do is pretty physical, and sort of my age, it'd be pretty hard to work 40 hours a week doing it, which is fine. So I live here and I work sometimes as little as 10 hours a week, sometimes as much as 30, and I time my work so I can go surfing. I'm parked on the ocean all the time. I wake up in the morning and get out and smell the salt air. I listen to the waves. I don't need to go anywhere. Many people turn up every day here to sit on the headland and read their book and watch the ocean for hours at a time. But I'm always here. The ocean for me is everything in my life. It gives me joy and happiness on many levels. It sets challenges both physically and mentally, especially in times of stress. If life is stressing you out in different ways, you can jump in the ocean and float around, and any troubles, any problems just seem to float away from you. You just, it's just like lying back and you're just enveloped in that water, and it's just a great feeling. It's just awesome. Every day of my life, I've been the first one in the water in the morning and the last one out of an evening. But as I've got older, I realised you appreciate the relationship with the ocean a lot more. Most of the relationships I have in my life developed through surfing, whether we grew up surfing together or we've met through the surfing at different places. Everybody from all walks of life surfs. And out in the water, it's a great leveler. Your happiness comes from within yourself. You know, it's how you deal with that. And it's all about doing what you want in your life. My number one thing in my life is going surfing. And yeah, no, I choose to live like this. Yeah, I like living in the van. I don't have any regrets about how it's ended up. You know, hindsight's a wonderful thing when you're looking at your life, and yeah, there's probably things you change, obviously, but I still think I've had a great life. Yeah, I've had a great life. I'm comfortable, I'm happy in myself, so I'm really content in my life. Yeah. How good is life? Once I saw the ocean, I've never been able to live away from it. And I'll continue to live next to it until I die.
La stanza è di forma rettangolare. Lungo le pareti sono disposte delle sedie. E sulle sedie ci sono persone che attendono. Questo è un luogo in cui si attende. Questo posto è il mondo.
Comunicazione interna, il dottor Viane è atteso con urgenza nel suo studio.
Questo posto è il mondo. E io non sono qui. Inizia sempre con qualcosa di non previsto, come un suono continuo che entra nelle orecchie, a cui dopo un po' di tempo ci si sente assuefatti e che poi all'improvviso sparisce, lasciandoti solo ad aver paura della paura.
Signor Pascal? Signor Pascal? Il dottore tarderà di alcuni minuti. Le chiedo scusa per il disagio. Per qualsiasi cosa, non esiti a chiedere. Io sono qui, nella stanza accanto.
E così inizia.
does that even mean?
No one knows what it means, but it's provocative. Now, don't go anywhere, because up next we have Peter Carlos, who will be talking about his film, and unfortunately recently he has lost his daughter, and he'll be talking about his film and the importance of it.
Hi everyone, I'd like to introduce you to our short film called After Silence. It was written and directed by myself, and it's starring an amazing actor, Justin Hosking, who's based in Melbourne. I couldn't think of a better actor for the project. I've known Justin for a long time, and we really worked well together. That made the project easier to focus on getting the message out further. It was, the cinematographer was shot by Con Philippidis, who's also based in Melbourne. Amazing guy. He didn't just turn up, for the film. He turned up way and above beyond what his job title was. He helped with everything, truly put his heart and soul into it. This project came about because a friend of mine at the time, we're talking about 5-6 years ago, he was just struggling. And I thought, what if he went ahead and ended his life? And what if he didn't? One of the things I absolutely admire was we sent it to Paris University, and they wrote back and they said, every time someone turns up and they're not sure what to do with the future, we show them your film. And we thought, wow, that's great. We also asked them, we said, can we get a wreath? And they said, no, just make one on your own, which is a true story. They said, don't worry about it, just make one. But I like the fact that they share it with students turning up to university unaware of what they want to do with their life. So they show them our video or our film, and hopefully it reaches people. Since I've made that film, recently my daughter took her own life. So now suicide has a whole other, tone to its voice. And I look back at the film and I go, was it justifiable? Did it actually get the message across? And she had seen it, but I'll never know those answers. But the word suicide needs to be shared because a lot of people are suffering silently. They worry about sharing it out of shame. So if we can bring it up more in context of other things, it's not, you don't want to turn up to a party and just talk about, your troubles. But the point is we should be comfortable in sharing our weaknesses. We should be comfortable in sharing our own struggles in a society that usually there's no breathing room. So please, if you're struggling with anything, just voice it, just get help, reach out to people, put it in a project, put it in a song, in a film, in your writing. That's what it's about, to put it out there and hopefully change people's lives. Please enjoy the film.
It's you? It is you. What? We're the same person, you and me. We're the same person, except that you went for it, the dream. Sorry? You went for the dream, I didn't. I didn't go for it. What the fuck are you talking about? See, I'm what your life looks like if you don't follow the dream. The calling. The thing you're meant to do with your life. We're the same person. You've given up. You've given up, that's why you're here. I fucking haven't given up. There's nothing left to hold on to. Take a good look at me. Because this is what life actually looks like if you don't follow the dream. Compromised, uninspired, bitter. To give up. To give up when you've already made the massive leap of of actually pursuing it beyond just thinking about it. I didn't give up. I took a shot at it and failed. I had no choice but to stop. And when we stop, there's nothing to fall back onto. You're either this huge success or you're nothing. To live the dream, it means broken relationships. It means broken promises, constant rejection, constant fucking abuse to your core fucking belief in yourself. And people you actually love, and they tell you, how much longer are you going to give it? When you've dedicated decades of your life to it, they don't fucking get it. They don't get it. They don't understand the sacrifice. They think you're living in this easy fantasy world, avoiding responsibility. But all the years of work, all the fucking years lead up to fucking nothing. I'm 41 years old, and I got no money. I got no house, no job, no career. There's always something just around the corner, you know, a possibility, a hope. But it never turns out. And it all just reminds you that you're a failure. No matter how much success I've had in my life, none of it meant anything to me. But at least you have something. You have something to show for it. I have nothing. Nothing. Things. That is what you're talking about. Things. Creature comforts of the world. Things. No matter how much stuff I have in my life, and believe me, I've got a fucking shitload, none of it has meant anything to me. It's all just a fucking reminder that I was too scared to go for it. You might think that you got nothing to show for it, but you fucking believe me. You believe me. Not having gone for it fucking eats you alive. I never had the courage. I never had the belief to say, hey world, this is what I want to do with my life. The freedom of that. To be you. You know, I always thought I'd just do this job just for a short time. Just to get set up. And one day I'll. And that one day turns into years, and then a life. A life! When you create something, it is so unique. It is so rare. It's beautiful. So if I can, I just don't know if I can actually get there. That is your calling, your struggle, your contribution. And what you create could give others a moment where they could heal, learn, love, grow, expand, connect, understand each other on a whole new level and reach beyond their lives. Give them that gift. Yeah, that's true. You're there. No! Okay. It's okay. The dream I told you. I'm calling.
Hola, Alex.
¿Qué pasó? ¿En dónde estoy? Oí un camión. Perdí el control. No recuerdo más. ¿Morí?
Así es. Pero no te preocupes, todo mundo muere.
¿Qué es este lugar? Estoy en el cielo.
Más o menos.
Tú eres Dios.
Mucho gusto.
Y mi hija, mi esposa.
Ah, cómo me encanta esto. Te acabas de morir y tu primera preocupación ha sido tu familia. Esto sí es lindo. Tranquilo. Tu esposa es una mujer fuerte y sobrevivirá sin ti. Tu hija te recordará como alguien perfecto en todas las maneras. Ella no tuvo tiempo de conocer tus fallas. Ambas lograrán salir adelante y no les hará falta nada.
¿Y ahora qué? ¿Me voy al cielo? ¿Al infierno? ¿O me quedo acá?
a ninguna de las tres partes. Tú reencarnarás. Ven, caminemos.
Entonces los hindúes tenían razón.
Todas las religiones tienen razón de cierta manera.
Pareces bastante a mi madre.
Es la única forma que tú me logras asimilar.
¿A dónde vamos?
Te quiero invitar a un té. Te ayudará a sentirte mejor.
Entonces, ¿cuál es el punto de todo esto? Morí, y cuando reencarne, seré solo otro recién nacido, un pizarrón en blanco en el que todas las experiencias y decisiones de mi vida no significarán nada.
No exactamente. Tú tienes dentro de ti todo el conocimiento de esta y de todas tus vidas anteriores, solo que no lo recuerdas. Tu alma es mucho más hermosa y magnífica de lo que tú puedes comprender. La mente humana solo puede contener una fracción minúscula de lo que tú realmente eres.
¿Cuántas veces he reencarnado?
Muchas, muchísimas. Ya perdí la cuenta y bastantes vidas distintas. En tu próxima serás una gran artista del año 1907.
¿Cómo así? ¿Me estás enviando al pasado?
El tiempo, como tú lo conoces, solo existe en tu universo. Las cosas son un poco diferentes de donde yo vengo.
¿De dónde vienes?
Claro. Yo vengo de un lugar distinto donde hay muchos como yo. Sé que quisieras que te lo explicara todo, pero creo que no lo lograrías entender.
Pero espera. Si cada vez reencarno en distintos espacios del tiempo, entonces seguramente podría cruzarme conmigo mismo en algún momento.
Por supuesto, pasa todo el tiempo, pero con cada vida consciente únicamente de sí misma, no tendrás manera de darte cuenta cuando te estés encontrando con otra.
¿Pero cuál es el punto de todo esto?
¿De verdad me sigues preguntando cuál es el significado de la vida? El significado de la vida, la razón por la que creé este universo es para que tú madures.
¿Tú quieres que la humanidad madure?
No, quiero que tú madures. Creé este universo solo para ti. Con cada vida creces, maduras y te vuelves un intelecto mayor.
Entonces, todo esto es solo para mí. ¿Y qué de las demás personas?
Todas son distintas encarnaciones de ti.
Soy todas las personas que han existido.
Y todas las que faltan por existir. Escribiste 100 años de soledad y la Ilíada también. Fuiste Hernán Cortés y cada uno de los inocentes que dañó en su camino. Cuando hiciste daño a alguien, te lo estabas haciendo a ti mismo. Cada acto de bondad que has hecho, te lo has hecho a ti mismo. Cada tristeza, cada felicidad experimentada por un ser humano fue o será experimentada por ti.
¿Por qué? ¿Por qué hacer todo esto?
Porque algún día serás como yo. Porque eso es lo que tú eres. Tú eres uno de los míos. Eres mi hijo.
Soy un dios.
No, aún no. Eres un ser que está creciendo. Una vez hayas vivido cada vida a través de todos los tiempos, habrás crecido lo suficiente como para nacer.
Pero entonces, todo el universo es solo...
Es momento que continúes hacia tu próxima vida.
So beautiful, isn't it?
It was so inspiring. And I'm so inspired by all the sponsors. Sign Gallery, Starmax Films, SAE University.
And we would like to thank all the filmmakers for your hard work. We know it's not easy to create something this beautiful and this inspiring. So we want to acknowledge and thank you all and say continue being inspirational to the young generation, to the future generation. So thank you.
This evening there are 2 Divine Awards.
One for Best Film.
And one for the most inspirational.
That's right. And here to present the award is Sabi Kuna.
I'm Sabi from Sign Gallery to present the Most Creative Film Award. And the nominees are Seabird, Ashball, Ed Koning, DAP Inside Other Places, Luca Angioli, Electric Francis Gwen, Home Spencer Frost. And the award goes to. They were all great movies, but the award goes to Luca Angioli, DAP Inside Other Places. Congratulations, Luca. Great job.
Thank you very much. I'm so honored. Thank you, Sabi. And the only thing I want to say is thank you. It's a great emotion to be there on the other side of the world and win this very, very beautiful award. Thank you very much.
And up next, we have to present the award is Kieran Bartlett.
Hi, I'm Kieran Bartlett, Campus Manager of SAE in Melbourne. It's a great privilege to be working with films that inspire, especially during their inaugural event. SAE shares the values behind this competition to inspire, to educate, and to enlighten. And so this collaboration was easy to support. Intrinsically, new media education helps students to grow, and through the work that's produced by students, staff, and alumni, helps the growth of others too. In my opinion, any event like this that helps to promote that growth is well worth supporting. With that in mind, I'd like to present the award for the most inspiring film. The winner of the award receives a $500 gift voucher, compliments of SAE, and the nominees are The Universe, directed by Eduardo Schoenberg, Seabirds, directed by Ash Ball and Ed Coney, After Silence, directed by Peter Kalos, and The Simplicity of Happiness, directed by Edwin Damali. And the winner is The Simplicity of Happiness by Edwin Damali.
Thank you so much, Kieran. I really appreciate it. I hope this film can be a benefit for anybody who sees it. That's all I need. Thank you so much. Really appreciate it.
Wow. Well deserved. Congratulations to the winner. Absolutely, absolutely loved it. Now don't go anywhere because we've saved the best for last.
It's a divine creation, a VR meditational experience that will transport you to another planet, another time, another dimension.
We should go to it together.
You know what? This film festival has really inspired me to be more of my authentic self, to be more true to who I am. And with the coronavirus and everything that's going on, I think it's time for me to drop my mask. I'm not really from the fifth dimension. My name isn't Crystal Indigo Light. My name's Claire Elizabeth D, and I'm a performance artist, speaker, writer, and your co-host this evening.
Wow, so much to take in. So all that was
show business.
So you don't actually.
I do. These films have connected me to my heart and how I love everyone. I love every member of the audience. Thank you so much for being part of this transformational film journey. And before we finish, we have one last film.
Yes, we do.
Bye. Namaste.
I was taught when I was young that there are three things that are key for this world: faith, hope, and love.
As a global community, we have the power to make a real difference in the world. As individuals, we do make differences in the world and we can help other people, but it's only within arm reach.
An economy that empowers everyone,
You get to be a part of that right now for a very small fee, and know that no matter what you're doing in the world, in your job or in other things, that you're making a difference just by being a part of this community.
It's finding people with the same values that are aligned with my values and that can bring different things and constructive things to the table.
Things that will take us individually, years, centuries to achieve. But with a community, we can achieve that within a small time frame.
And it continues to spread and spread and spread. So it's a growth movement. You don't just give $1 and it disappears. It's you give $1 and it grows.
Owned by the people, for the people. It is all about transparency and integrity.
We're starting to feel powerless. We're starting to feel that we're alone, that we can't make a difference. An honest community so we can come together and we can actually make a difference together.
Whether it be helping support the bushfires in Australia or help save the Amazon forest.
We want to make impact and changes for the future.
We're all here to create a better world. That's what everybody wants at the core. And Honest Community is about making a better world.
What do you have to lose? We've tried everything and the world is still not working.
I dream with a world that my daughter can be whatever she wants to be and that she knows that she has choice.
You should sign up to Honest because if you want to make a difference in the world, we empower you to do that.
Honest Community is new, it's exciting, and it's yours.
We live in extraordinary times. The world is changing at such a rapid rate. It may soon be unrecognizable to most of us alive today. There appear to be no linear solutions to the moral, fiscal, and environmental crisis we face today. All attempts to handle these issues with the old mindset are doomed to an awful and protracted failure. As strange as this may seem, it is actually very good news. These are ideal conditions for the one element which promises a dynamic solution to the insurmountable problems plaguing the planet today. The radical transformation of consciousness. This is the wild card in the deck. These conditions constitute precisely the right environment needed for radical transformation. Human consciousness is notoriously asleep when things are comfortable, predictable, and certain. Ancient initiation rites always involved facing the unknown and the very real possibility of annihilation. We find ourselves at a unique point in the evolution of human consciousness. A tumultuous time of unprecedented change and transformation. What is being called for is a new vision. One which embraces coexistence and co-creation over domination and exploitation. A quantum leap in the awareness of how we see ourselves. As we experience the dissolution of the old order, it is apparent that many across the world are experiencing a new sense of empowerment, asserting the desire for peace and respect for all beings. Millions are experiencing a sense of connection and unification. This is a planet in transition. A new Earth is being born. A world nested in loving kindness, justice, peace, and a sense of oneness, of unity consciousness. As this new Earth comes into being, the associated chaos and disorder will pose some major challenges. Simultaneously, wonderful new experiences will also be occurring. People will start to be filled with the idea of awakening, of joy, freedom. More and more synchronicity will abound in our lives. Deep happiness will overflow in our lives at the strangest times. Sweet peace will steal over us for no apparent reason, as we feel the presence of a magnificent, divine self arising within us. We are in the process of a very rapid spiritual awakening. This shift of consciousness in the world and in our personal lives has been predicted for a long time by seers, visionaries, spiritual teachers, astrologers, and indigenous elders from traditions around the world. The Earth is arriving in a new part of the galaxy, just in the middle of the Milky Way. Something it does every 26,000 years. Very high frequencies exist in this part of the galaxy, and these frequencies are being absorbed into the world of matter, catalyzing a vibrational shift to lift and evolve all beings very quickly. Powerful changes are also occurring with our sun. Unprecedented coronal mass ejections, high-frequency solar magnetic winds are being released into space and flooding the Earth. The redistribution of electromagnetic fields on the Earth will accelerate profound changes in our lives. This may cause feelings of disorientation, confusion, and fear, as old patterns of negativity and limitation are released and new higher energies take hold. It seems the way to approach this time of transition with balance and ease is to prepare oneself spiritually, mentally, emotionally, and physically to remain clear, steady, and awake. Many are being called to purpose, to assist in ushering this new transformational era of human life. It is nothing less than a dimensional shift from one modality of consciousness to another, involving the conscious ingression of higher frequencies into the third dimensional plane. We are moving towards a new world, a new level of reality in which the consciousness of love, peace, and spiritual wisdom will prevail. Once we have learned how to anchor these higher frequencies, the result will be the co-creation of a new Earth, one in which we will live in peace and harmony, one in which we will experience an all-pervading oneness with the totality of life, one in which we respect all sentient beings, where the Earth herself will be perceived as our mother. Fear, hunger, poverty, and crime will be made obsolete. Our natural birthright will be equality, justice, respect, and abundance for all. All beings will awaken to the majestic, divine, multi-dimensional beings that we truly are. Listen to your intuition as your eyes open.
ocean and cross the silver bar. I have reached the sun of knowledge, the earth's self-midnight star. It feels the flaming vision, its mountains of its peaks of fiery rapture, its air of absolute light. It sees of self-oblivion, it smells of Titan rest. Became my soul's dominion, its island of the blessed. Alone with God and silence, timeless it lived in time. Life was his fugue of music, thought was truth's